Hey, how you doing, my friends? What's up? It's me once again. Of course, I gotta fix this just a little bit there. Okay. Um, there's another review, obviously, for another film I wanted to check out, even though I wasn't too enthusiastic about it. But I rewatched the review from a very good guy on here, very good friend of mine, friend of all of us, Matt. And he reviewed this film. The review, by the way, is still up on his channel, guys. You just go to his channel there, to his search box, type up Scream 4. He reviewed the fourth film, I believe, back in July, and I believe he touched on the other films as well, all in one video and stuff. Well, since I saw, Wes Craven's fucking Condor shitty horror movie, which I didn't even know before I did the rant that that movie had a lot of rewrites, and I rewatched Matt's rant, when he came out, stuff like that. And I'm pretty much I went into this film. This movie has been YouTubed, by the way, even though it has like these Asian subtitles on the bottom, but somebody uploaded it in one upload. In case you guys want to check out, just type Scream 4. It says HD. So supposedly HD, I guess. Maybe it's one of those ones where it came out overseas first already, and somebody uploaded it. Because the Weinsteins don't give a fuck about none of that stuff that's on YouTube. That's why sometimes there's Pulp Fiction and all of this shit on there, whatever. They don't bust as much balls, I guess. I think the first movie's on YouTube as well. So, what are my thoughts on that franchise? Should I talk a little bit about the films? Like I said in the other video, I believe a video before that, I did sort of, I guess, revisit the first Scream again because they gave it on MTV. I think it was on the Halloween weekend. So I saw a little bit of it there. The movie is still a fun film. I mean, Wes Craven came out of nowhere in 1996 to do that film. Kevin Williamson actually wrote it because it was kind of an homage to a little bit of I guess you could say John Carpenter's Halloween a little bit, but like taking the rules of the slasher and playing with it in a way, or making like referencing slasher films. And you have these good characters, good cast members: Jamie Kennedy, Matthew Lillard, Skeet Aldrich, Nev Campbell, who's just coming off Party of Five. Rose McGowan, way before Rose McGowan was whatever, she was up and coming. Liv Schreiber, he got started in there. Courtney Cox, David Arquette, and everything like that. You got Nev Campbell as Sydney, and, David Arquette as Deputy Dewey, not Dewey, Dewey Riley. And also, of course, Courtney Cox as this reporter, Gail Weathers, and everything like that. So, that movie still holds up pretty good. Now, if there was ever films that really didn't need a franchise, I would say it's Scream, in all honesty, because really, I mean, I don't understand how the hell they did it. I know it made a shitload of money, and I just got bitten by a fucking mosquito. Fuck me. I hope I killed that son of a bitch. Alright, man. It's been a very horrible day at work, stuff like that. I'm a little out of it and stuff, so I don't know. I figured I'll sit through this films. I heard it's not as bad as My Soul to Take, but it's not as good either. It has maybe some points in it. Scream 4. But anyway, Scream 2, okay. Scream 3, I don't remember it, to be honest. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. The only thing I remember of Scream 3 is I think that song by Creed, What If, was, I think, attached to the soundtrack to Scream 3. So, I remember that part. And I remember the ending. Because the ending of the Scream film, besides the first movie, really don't do much, to be honest. I mean, the only thing good about Scream 2, if I think about it, is Timothy Olyphant was the fucking killer, and he gets pwned by Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox. That's nice. And the whole thing with, it's the mother of Skeet Aldrich who killed Jamie Kennedy, which you didn't need to kill his character off and stuff like that. Because the character was so smart, and you make him die in a stupid way, which was dumb. and everything like that. Then the third movie ending was, oh, it's Sydney's brother. And whatever, she tries to shoot Sydney. Sydney has body armor. And Dewey ends up killing the killer. That's nice. They finally give David Arquette something to do. Because they went all out of the way in the second film to give him a presence. When he comes in, you hear that boom, 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 boom. Doom, 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 doom. Which almost sounds a little bit like the little bit of the Hans Zimmer theme I remember in Broken Arrow a little bit. Like when John Travolta's character got to remind me of. But they don't do nothing with Dewey in there. He gets stabbed again in part 2. But in part 3, at least he did a little something, you know. And I guess, you know, Courtney Cox and Neve Campbell are doing more. You have Patrick Dempsey in there. And his partner is actually Raphael himself, Josh Payas. I haven't seen that in a while, but I remember those endings like that. I mean, this granted is not downbeat. That's a plus. You know, it ended, I mean, Scream 3 ended positively. And everything like that. It didn't end with fucking sequel bait. The second movie didn't end with sequel bait. The first movie did not end with sequel bait. So why do we have a franchise for this? I don't know. Of course, the Weinsteins. It's about money. That's exactly what it's about. So I'm happy Scream 2 got his ass handed to him by Titanic, even though I'm not a fan of Titanic. But just, you know, because that came out, I think it was the same weekend or weekend before, I guess the weekend after Titanic. So everything after Titanic went down. The only thing I knocked down Titanic, I remember, was the big hit. I was Marky Mark's, you know, very decent movie. Stuff with Lou Diamond for that's a fun action film. Better than the shit Mark Wahlberg does now, you know. The stuff that last good movie Mark Wahlberg did to me was Four Brothers. And I'm off the topic. So, 10 years from Scream 3, we get Scream 4, which we didn't fucking need at all. I wasn't asking for Scream 4. Were you guys asking for Scream 4? Nobody. When we talked about, I touched on Scream 4 with my buddies in that BS cast for films of 2011. We weren't asking for Scream 4. And what do we say when we said it's a useless sequel that's not wanted, not needed? I know the behind the scenes story behind it was Wes Craven wanted to try to do kind of another type of slasher film, but for the social network era, you know, for the 21st century. But slasher films in the genre today really don't work, to be honest. I mean, you get good throwbacks like Friday 13 Reboot, which I enjoy a lot. You know, I don't mind the fucking traps, but that's me and stuff. House of Wax, that's another one I have fun with. Of course, the second Hatchet film, fuck the first one. See, I know there's the rise of Leslie Vernon. I heard good things about that. I have yet to see that yet. But other than that, really not much, to be honest. And everything like that. And we get shitty ones like Laid to Rest. And shit, which gets all the pass. So Wes Craven came back, Kevin Williamson came back. Now what happened was, behind the scenes, Kevin Williamson had a dispute, because I think he also came out as a producer, I guess. And halfway through the production, he left. Now we don't know whether, you know, if it was, you know, creative differences between him and Wes Craven, or him and the Weinsteins, or whatever. But they got Ehren Kruger to come in and rewrite. Ehren Kruger is the guy who wrote one of the writers behind Nightmare on Elm Street remake. And he was also the writer behind Transformers Dark of the Moon. Transformers Dark of the Moon is the best thing he's written, in my humble opinion. And everything like that. Even though the Autobots don't have no dialogue amongst each other and they come in late in the film, but it's still in my number 2 in the top 10, my favorite one. This movie here, it's ho-hum. It's mediocre. And I just seen this film, and I'm almost forgetting this film, to be honest. So, it starts out with a bang, because I like the whole thing where you have these two girls, and they're talking about a movie they want to watch, and one girl says, oh, let's watch Saw 4, and the other girl says, no, I don't want to watch Saw 4, I'm tired of that torture porn bullshit, or whatever that. Oh, but one girl said, but I like Jigsaw, this and that, and the girl said, but there's no character development, you know, so I like they touch on that a little bit. And then, very stupid characters, basically, and we find out a little why they're stupid, because she's getting a text by some guy who's a stalker, And then you have Ghostface come on the phone. I agree with Matt. Ghostface doesn't work anymore. The voice. Roger, I think the guy who does the voice for all the Ghostface throughout all the Scream films. By the way, I remember when Matt reviewed these movies back in July, the IMDb ratings have changed because Scream 4 now gets a 6.4, right? Scream 3 gets 5.3. Scream 2 gets 6.0, which that's a little too high in my humble opinion. And now the original Scream, that gets 7.2. Now that deserves the higher mark in my humble opinion, really. Because that movie was innocent. It has a lot more going for it. You know, it resurrected the slasher genre. And of course, thanks to Scream, we ended up with I Know What You Did Last Summer. With those films suck balls. I mean, the only thing good about those films, I would say, is really Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr., to be honest. You know, at least in those two films and everything. But I don't own those films. I'm not a fan of those. If anything, Scream, the first Scream kicked the shit out of I Know What You Did Last Summer, part 1 and 2. Even that bullshit made the DVD sequel and shit, which they look like a remake, but it actually is a sequel. And some bullshit like that. So, pretty much what happens is the two girls get killed, and you think that's how the movie starts. No, that's Stab 6. Because you know how the whole Scream films, they had this thing going on with the Stab series and stuff. You know, these movies that were based, that he's learning about that in the second film, that's based on the events of the first movie and stuff, you know, based on Gary Weathers' book and all this shit. You know, they touched on that more on Scream 3, Hollywood and all that stuff like that. So then it pulls back, and we see Anna Paquin, and I don't like this fucking actress at all. I think it's Kristen Bell from Fanboys, which everyone loves Fanboys. That's good. The disc is somewhere floating around somewhere in the fucking sewage or whatever, because I threw that motherfucker out. You guys remember that DVD collection video and stuff. I mean, people love Fanboys, it's alright. Me, no. I don't give a fuck about Kristen Bell either. And Anna Paquin, it was nice to see her there for the little bit she's there and stuff. She's basically going on and on. Oh, but the Stab films are overrated, this and that and this. And then I like it what comes out of nowhere. Kristen Bell goes, I like the idea of the killer with the mask and not being trapped or torture and all stuff like that. And he goes, you know what? You didn't see that coming, did you? And stabs Anna Paquin. And he goes, you know what? You don't just shut the fuck up. But then that pulls back and says Stab 7. Then you get these two real girls who I guess in the film and shit like that, who are horrible actresses. One girl plays a trick on the other girl, pretending to be Ghostface. The real Ghostface shows up and takes the other girl, throws her, plays that thing with her on the phone, throws it through the window, chases after the girl. The kills are really ho-hum kills, like Matt said. I agree. Ho-hum. Nothing at all. In the first film, they had more of a shock to it, like him, you know, like that. You even had a little bit of a thing where he chases the girl downstairs. She gets stabbed, and she makes it to the garage. She's crawling out the door. You guys remember the first film, right? But not like that. Crawls out, and basically the garage door goes, closes on her back, but then goes back up. He pulls her and stabs. You see Scream 4, some shitty song that pops up. And now we see Sydney 10 years later. She come back to Woodsboro. She's a writer now of a self-help book, out of the darkness, I guess. She comes back to Woodbridge. She hasn't been there in years. Dewey, David Arquette's now a sheriff. I agree. You know, then when we first introduced to Dewey, Dewey's cell phone alarm is Axel F. But then, like Matt said, it goes downhill. We're introduced to these teenage characters. One of them is the girl from Heroes, Hayden Panettiere, if I got her name right. Which I don't mind as an actress, but here, like if they would have made her maybe the lead girl or something, or whatever, or give her a different type of movie to do, I would watch her in it. But here, she's really given nothing to do. I mean, she seems a little bit more likable, at least, than the other girls, to be honest. But that doesn't say, she can't save the film for me. I mean, I liked her in that film, I Love You, Beth Cooper. She was cute in that film. I'm not a fan of Heroes, but I heard she's the best thing about it. I mean, she has a YouTube channel from what I hear, and I heard she does good things with charities and stuff. That's nice to see a young actress giving a shit about charities. That's nice. And stuff like that. She wants to give back. But that doesn't save the film.